Hello, it's me. Have you missed me? Oh, I am very washed out. But it's alright, you didn't come to see this. You came to see this. How are you all doing today? It is me. It is Lawson. It is your favourite monster's favourite monster, the crafting kaiju. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Who we got? Hello, Bryce. Hey, Mikey's here. Hey, Boogie. You alright? Hello, Paul. It's almost bedtime for you, Bryce. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by. You know, it's always lovely to see more people. I was a bit nervous going live this morning. I'm like, people going to turn up in this? Yeah, shut me curtains. That's an idea. Is this? That's a bit better. It's great. Yes, so crafting with the kaiju is back. And to get started, we're going to do something a little bit special. I mean, everything's special that I do. I'm a special guy. Let me know, as always, audio and what have you. Just keep me up right. I'm a technological Luddite, so I'll just push buttons and see what I'm doing. But yes, we were very kindly sent the brand new Age of Sigmar box set from Games Workshop. So thank you, Games Workshop, for sending that. It is available for pre-order now. So, and if you want to get it, you can either go to the GW website, or if you've got anything else, I've put a bunch of affiliate links down in the what's it called? Video description. That's the one. So you check out the affiliate links and get a bunch of stuff at a good price, no extra cost to yourself, and it helps the channel. So that's always lovely. So check it out. So Arcane Cataclysm is up for pre-order. It is the Lumineth Realm Lords versus the Disciples of Tzeentch. It's got a slew of good goodies. Two of the most important things, for me anyway, is the new hero models. One of which is the Sonari Enlightener for the Lumineth Realm Lords. And then we have a brand new model for the Curseling, which is very cool. Hang on a minute. That's not right. Is that right? So if I do it like this, hang on. I'm just going to get a hairy stick and see what's going on here. Ha 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 ha. No. Yeah, no, that's not right. 2 seconds. That's better. Now you see how I see. I just confused myself because it was wrong. Which one I want? Which one? What one? Slap chop. Love slap chop. Right. Hang on. What's going on here? Everything's going wrong. Oh, of course, Jules is... There we go. Oh, and a lovely message from Mike. He's saying kick its ass. Thank you. Right, okay. Well, let's get off that. And back to it. Sorry, everything's going on. Oh. I think it's going to be... Oh, Tzeentch Illuminate. I think it's probably going to be the Tzeentch for me, because I already have a fair amount of Disciples of Tzeentch stuff anyway, and this is just a lovely way to bolster the force. Oh, absolutely, you're not missing out. You get yourself some Realm Lords then, because then I don't have to paint them. Because I tried, and it's a pain in the tuchus to paint them. Right. So yes. So I thought, I'm going to go with the Tzeentch. We're going to go with this lovely new Curseling model. So it's a brand new model for an older unit. And I don't really know how I'm going to paint it. So we're just going to muddle our way through it. Might be box art, might not. I've got because I couldn't work out what I wanted to do, I just brought a slew of paints around myself. So we'll stick some on the wet palette and we'll just see where life takes us. So what I'll do is I'll move things across slightly. I thought I had this all set up nicely, but apparently I have not. So if I set it up like this, that's a bit better. So you can kind of see a bit of my wet palette going on there. Oh, hang on, there's little water bombs there. That's going to ruin my life if I get anything in there. There we go, that's much better. So we'll start with always Well, that's the thing, Mikey. They're your lumineths, so you don't actually have to paint them white. Paint them however you want. So yeah, so I'm just going to plonk some paint down on the... Where am I putting these? I'll just put them back in the box, otherwise I'm strewing them everywhere. Today's paint of choice is Pro Acryl, because I just really like Pro Acryl paints at the moment. I say at the moment, for about since I got my hands on them. Bit of white, bit of black. Okay, so it's Tzeentch, so it's Tzeentch, so we're going to have a look for some very weird and wonderful colours. So I'm thinking like blues and purples and greens and things like that. So what we're going to do is get a nice purple as well on the palette. What else do we want? Not a stupid question at all, Julie. It's really down to sort of personal preference. If you make up your own armies, or if you're making up your own themes for stuff, you just paint. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you just paint them however you want. You bought them; they're your models. Paint them exactly how you want. Sometimes there can be specific stuff, like maybe a character is known for being red, so you might want to paint them red. Consistency Pro Acryl paint. Pro Acryl paints they're already a really nice consistency. They're pretty much good to use neat. They're still a little bit thick, so they still need like a touch of thinning to them. But I really like them because you can thin them within an inch of their life, and they're still great and they don't split. And as well, they're super matte, and I just really like a very matte finish to my models. And they just have generally good coverage. Right, so we've got a purple. Let's get a nice... Yeah, nice red. Also, the Pro Acryls come with an agitator in them as standard. So we get this blue. Get a bit of blue in there as well. Just in case, I'm just going to put some primary colours down. What's that? Oh, you want a lime green in there? Not quite a lime green, but it's a nice green. What else should we throw in there? We'll probably have to throw some metallics in there too, but we'll, oh, and a magenta. Because anyone who knows me, or anyone who's seen most of my painting, especially if I'm going off script, will understand that I usually tend to have purple and magenta in basically everything, because I just think it's great. So yeah, we'll run with that for now, because let's see, can I find some art for the Curseling? Yeah, so there's a bit of art for him on his War Scroll card. See that just without the glare. So he's got some like lovely blue armor, but most of my disciples of Tzeentch have a more sort of pinky purple armor to them. So I might actually paint, because I quite like that blue. So I might paint the blue and then just do some purple accents to get along with it. But anyway, so yeah, we'll just we'll play around with some colours and we'll see we'll see what's what. So, wet that brush. So we'll take some blue, darken it down just a touch. Okay, that's very dark now. But that's okay, because we're just doing base coats here, and we can build up. Actually, no, that's not. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Oh, I haven't painted under a camera for a while, so you'll have to excuse me if it goes everywhere. But thank you everybody for joining. How's everybody's Saturday morning going? Or Saturday afternoon, or Friday night, or... How is your comparative time zone going? Oh god, the blobby marine. Oh Jesus, that was a terrible time. It's the fact you went on about it at length for so long, and then I finally did it, and you went, "That's awful. Why did you do that?" After that, I kind of stopped taking requests. So at this point, because we're just sort of slapping base coats down, I'm not too bothered about being overly neat. That's, you know, look at more blue, more black. Is that? Nope, that's too much black again. This is a powerful black. That's better, is it? No. Okay, that's a bit better. Basically, I'm making a mess. So we're just sort of getting in the armour. I realised I did not pay attention to this model whatsoever. I probably should have done the skin tones on the Cursling as well, but it's alright, we can go back and forth. Joy of the wet palette is I've got this paint mix ready to go if I do need to do any touch-ups, which I will do, because as you can see I'm just sort of making a mess. Slap Chop has revolutionized my life. It's made painting so much easier. Actually quite fun. So if you saw mine and Mikey's battle report where I played my Slaves to Darkness, pretty much that entire army was slap chopped. What's he paying? What am I buying? Right, okay, what are you buying? Oh, what are you buying? I'm hilarious. I would say... because you're getting the Levy Dread. Maybe get yourself Boxer Mark III Marines or something. Would be interesting. Some things. Easier basic way to get into it. For mini painting, I'd say the easiest way is just buy some paints, buy some hairy sticks, and get some models, like just whatever takes your fancy when it comes to hobby painting. Have I missed anywhere? Probably, but that's okay. Very importantly, give you a brush a wish. In terms of wargaming, there is a multitude of ways of getting into wargaming and tabletop miniatures in general. I'd say really just pick whatever you like the look of. I miss what you said, mate. Right, I'm saying if you're buying Leviathan Dreadnought, you could always, because if you're looking to like magnetize the thing, you can buy the upgrade sprues, or that's just coming to me now. I didn't say that before, so that's new information. Or maybe a pack of Mark IIIs, like the new Horus Heresy Mark III Marines. Is it Mark III? Or is it Mark VI? I don't know. The new Marines. Get them. Ooh. What about some Tartarus pattern Terminators? Because they just look cool as hell. Oh, no worries, Julia. Catch you later. Thank you very much for stopping by. Oh, Thieving Bar, sorry I didn't see you there. Totally here for Lawson to calmly Bob Ross me to sleep after a wild Friday. That's fair. So, got some blue there. So now, fingers crossed, it should just sort of... There's a button here for autofocus. It might... Is there a... I can't remember. Oh yeah, there's a little light on this. Nope. Sorry, I'm just digging around with the camera here. But yeah, no, so it should be... So yeah, we've got a pretty nice blue there. I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll probably just start, before we really start getting into it, I need to put some kind of skin tone on the Cursling part of it. Ah, Crazy Doug! That's my guy. Right. Skin tone. Skin tone. What would be a good skin tone? Okay, I'm going off script here. And by off script, I'm just playing around with stuff and seeing what happens. Oh yeah. I caught my glove. See you later, Bryce. Thank you very much for stopping by. Have a lovely sleep. A darker skin tone, you say? Ah, okay, yeah, we'll go with that. So I've decided, for some strange unknown reason, is I'm gonna... God, I forget how powerful this bloody... Okay, that's better. So I'm going with burnt orange. Again, pretty much everything I'm using today is from Proacryl. And they don't have the silliest of names, so it's easy to realise that's not even on the thing here. Can we... Because I tend to sort of bring things quite close to myself here, so... That's a bit better, isn't it? Is it? I'm going to say yes. Again, since I'm just doing base coats, doesn't matter about being overly neat, but just try not to go over stuff you've already done. Because in this house, we do not work hard, we work smart. Okay, probably a bit too thin, but that's okay. We'll just do a couple of coats. And we'll build up that base coat. So, and then I'll work something out with the feathers and the plumage. Now we're just going to be hella careful and painting the fingers on the top of his head there. Also remembering that this dries darker than expected, but it's also over a black base coat, so across here comes some fun, getting like a little bit of skin and stuff that's on the inside there. So I'm trying to also, you'll notice that I'm just moving the model wherever I feel like, just because it's easier to control the model than it is to control the brush. So if I'm going like that's a recipe for disaster. Whereas if I just move the model around, I can get it on the spots with the brush being in the same place. Where did I put that? God, so I can see which parts are flesh. How much of this is flesh? What's going on here? I'm just going to put you to the side. Is that? No, that's armour. But yeah. Just forgot his back part of his arm there. As I said, not too worried about overspill at this point, but we are just trying to be a little bit neat. But that's nice. That's alright. That's alright. That is. So the black that I mixed in with the burnt orange is obviously has desaturated it, so it is sort of just more of a chocolate brown. But we're going for a darker skin tone because Mikey requested that. So that's fine. That's fine and dandy by my estimations. Then what we'll do, what else we've got here? So he's got a fair amount of metal on him, a little bit of bone, some feathers. Just having a look and seeing what's what. What can we do? What can we do where? Where can we have fun? Right, so yeah, so he's got some some little rope covers and whatnot. We'll probably do like the little bits of filigree at the end, just once everything else is sorted. But in the meantime, what can we do? What other colours do we have available? Tell you what, let's keep playing around with the skin tones. Let's see what we can come up with. Right, that's going to be a bit of tan flesh in there. And all we're going to do is start layering back up, so a bit of mix of the darker base tone that we did and a bit more of the burnt orange in there, so it's still a bit darker, but we'll just play around. So yeah, we're mainly going to go for sort of more raised detail, so anything that's got like a deeper crease to it, we're just going to ignore that. And as well, if it's particularly difficult to see, we're just going to ignore it. Oh, that's a bit better. Sorry, it was a bit dark before, wasn't it? Just a little smidge of water. Just to loosen it up a little. I think as well, looking at the model, it's especially sort of the cursed part of the curseling. His hand sort of turns into like, I'm going to say bird scales. Let's just say bird scales it turns into. So I want to do something a little bit different with that. So there we go. Oh, that's much better now, putting the light up a little bit. So you can see that quite nicely. Sort of working that up there. I'm glad that you're learning, Chris. Good stuff. Doug, you miss painting. Get some painting going. I know you're at work, but still. And then we're gonna add more burnt orange to the mix, and we're gonna do it again. And then hopefully, because the paint's still a little bit wet, I can do a bit of a ghetto blend, which really sort of hides the fact that I am terrible at painting flesh, and you kind of just mush it all together and you go, it's fine. But remember, at the end of the day, if you ever worry about any of your painting abilities whatsoever, it doesn't matter, because at most people will be looking at it from 6 feet away. So just pick nice colours, really. See, I haven't really bothered too much in the neck. Just as long as there's some sort of like, as long as the neck's not blue, I'm not too bothered, because it's. So here we're pretty much just sort of going over everything we've done before, leaving a little bit. And because we're mixing more and more of the orange, it's not as it's not so jarring a change. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Paul gets it. And at the end of the day, you should be painting for yourself, painting for your own enjoyment, not because you feel like you have to paint for other people. Well, there's definitely too much water, but here we go. We live with our mistakes like men. As I said before, I'm just leaving the scaly parts for now, because I think I'm going to do them probably in some kind of like yellow, and then I'll wash over it with the base tone just to try and tie it all together. Famous last words. We'll see how that goes. again. So I don't know how well it's showing up on the palette, but you can kind of see. So where we went from the base tone to a mid tone, and then this is just pure burnt orange now. Tell you what, we'll change brushes. At the moment I'm using a size 2. I tend to use a size 2 for pretty much everything, unless I'm doing like a quick and dirty base coat, in which I'll use a size 4. Delicious paint water. Oh god, yeah. Oh, I've forgotten, yeah, because they've put the Forge World kits for the 30k Primarchs on the GW site now as like expert level kits, which I think is kind of cool. So again, we're just going over what we've done before, but just a little bit less this time. Just trying to think about, at this point we're thinking about where the light's hitting it, so usually I just kind of go top down. I should change brushes like the Mad Hatter. That's an idea. So yeah, just the top parts here. So the top of this bicep, that crease there, just around there. So there's the top of his hand. Like that. I'll just get a little chin. His mouth there, so you can kind of see where we're going with here. It's nice and easy. And that was all just from adding a little smidge of black. Well, probably way too much black originally, but you know, we play around, we work with it. We work with what we've got. So that burnt orange, and then we just slowly go up in stages, as you can see here, from darker to mid to a bit lighter, and then you're just using the solid orange there. And then I think just as a bit of a more of a pop, we're going to play around with something else here. So I put some like tan flesh here. So I'm just going to take a little smidge, mix it in, see what we get. So It's not showing up too well on camera. Probably starting to, because we don't want to go too far out there. Not with skin tones. I want to try and make skin tones a little bit more subtle, a bit nicer. So something like that. Get excess off my brush, because we're going to go just very little details here. So what we're going to do here is just sort of the knuckles, just a couple of little cross hatches on the knuckles, across the sort of the fingers there, down there, and then a couple of striations across his chest, just to make it look like that. And then here, across the lips, on the side of the mouth, just on the chin there. Again, I'm going to go across, just here. Same on the other side, so we'll flip them around a bit, as I said, because I don't want to fight the model here. Just doing very small little highlights there, and just sort of across there, across here. That sort of little bend in his elbow there. Can even do it across here. Top of his thumb there. Just along his wrist, across the bicep. Everything is I don't know muscle groups, so if it's in an arm, it's a bicep. If it's in a leg, it's a calf. That's it. And then across here, across his back. Get a couple of little places here, but then there's basically we're just sort of looking for sharper details. So we can probably just put like a little bit there, just very slightly there, just across his thing, and then maybe across the jawline, and then his neck there. And there you go. That's sort of there's the skin tone. Quite happy with that, so we'll call that done. Because I don't want to futz around with it too much, and then I've got no idea what I'm doing. And I'll go find a nice yellow. Okay, golden yellow. Okay, let's go with. We'll go with golden brown, because that'll tie in a little bit with the orange. Squirt on the palette there. Just a little smidge, because I can't see myself using it too much, but we'll see. I've been wrong before. So on the palette there. So, actually, I'll tell you what, we'll mix a little bit of the orange, the burnt orange, there, because then go up in tone. I'm just using the side of my brush to catch the fingers, and then that way it leaves the bass tone that we put in it, and I'm just not. It just means we're not messing around too much with going back and forth, because we're just trying to be neat here. Like, not perfect, but neat. Still. Again, as always, mistakes happen. You play around. You go back and forth, you work things out. And then he's got his same on the back here. Ah, good morning, Ben. So I think we're alright there. I'd say these little nubbins will do, because he's got like the start of feathers, like feather nubs in there, or like little horns or something like that. So we'll paint those the same colour, and then that way it's a bit more to tie everything together. Has he got anything else on around here? Oh, I've just missed. Oh, that part of the finger there. It's no good. So he's got no more sort of nose or anything like that. Just these little spines on his back that will dot these as well. Like I said, then that's everything tight. We're just trying to tie everything together as best we can. So I've got no idea what's going on with this thing at times. Right. Now we'll go for more of a golden brown. Yeah. Now again, what I'm doing is, when I go to paint, I'll lock my elbows in. I can't lock them in at the table because then it's too high and you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just locking my knees in on my legs. So, just going over what we've done. Pretty much this is just going to be repainting everything that we've already done, because the previous tone was mainly just for a base coat, just so, because yellow is notoriously difficult to just get a solid coverage on. So I like to work up to a yellow. You can just sort of, again, just use the side of our brush just to. There, we're just tickling the texture there. Because we want a little bit of what we did before underneath to show through, so we just give it a little tickle. We can have that nice orangey look. And same again on the fingers. Just going across. Like that. Tell you what, try and get his teeth done as well. There we go, and there's his teeth done while we're at it. Very quickly and nice. I think I've got the new Imperial Fist yellow, but I never paint enough yellow for it to... I don't paint large enough areas of yellow for it to matter too much, unfortunately. So we'll work up into a, because that's a golden brown, so at least that's what it's saying. It's a golden brown, so it's not quite a yellow. And I kind of want a little bit of like almost like a bird, like a cartoony yellow. So we'll get some golden yellow. Again, a little splodge on the palette. I'm not going to need much, so that's alright. Still just going to stick with me size 1 for now. As you can see, that this is, you can see, it's a lovely yellow, but it is very transparent. But because we've been building up the layers of yellow before, it should be okay. Famous last words. Mix a bit of golden brown with it, just to make it a little bit more opaque. Actually, yeah, that's working a bit better. Yeah, so mix a little bit of the golden brown on it. Just to help with the opacity. And we're not doing anything different, we're just sort of going over again, just building this all up. Touch on there. Okay, that's all right. I realised because he's holding the staff, there's that bit sort of between his thumb and fingers that I've not highlighted. So we'll just do that nice and quick. You see here? Yeah. Oh yes, gold's going to look lovely. I think I'm definitely going to do a gold trim. Yeah. And then I'll take some of that massive highlight. Just dot that around. And there we go, that's a little bit. That's a little better. Okay, so Cursling's pretty done. Just got his plumage to do. Now we'll look around and see if there's anything I need to... else I can do before we start. First we'll take a look at... that should not be drying out like that. Excuse me a moment, my wet palette is not wet enough. So we're just going to go And I've completely ruined all that. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because we'll just play around with it. I can still take paint from here, there, and everywhere. We're golden. So, what I'll do is we'll take some of this purple here while we can. Give me that purple. Okay, there's a bit of white in there, but that's fine. Take a little smidge of the black, mix that in, and then we'll just base coat this. I've really made a pig's ear of that. I love it. Thanks very much, buddy. You enjoy your Saturday. Have a grand one. I'll be a little bit more careful around here because I don't want to undo the work that we've just done. Well, having said that, given my cack-handed abilities, I probably will end up painting over what I've just done, but that's fine. So, just trying to cover as much of it as we can, but like I said before, if it's in a really, really awkward spot, I'm just not going to paint it. That's fine. It's always something to keep in mind. If you're painting for tabletop stuff, just paint what you can. Doesn't matter if you can't miss it. Because if it's something that you've got to turn upside down and hold it upside down, turn your head at a 45-degree angle and squint just to see if it's been painted. If anybody does that to your models, you just tell them to leave, or you leave, depending where you are. You're just like, no, we're not doing that. Like, that's weird. Stop that. God, it's just a mess. Okay, so that's just a mess, but workable. What I'm doing here is I'm just doing a bit of a blend, really. You know. Hey, morning, fish. So that'll do for now. You can always go back and play around with the feathers and stuff, but as base coating goes, just quick wet blend going on, just playing around here. Really, it's mainly sort of just metallics and a little bit of bone and gubbins to go with things. So metallics, it's going to take a little while because with chaos there is an ungodly amount of filigree. So we'll see how we go. Where are my metallics? There should be one more hiding somewhere. Aha. There we go. We'll slip a little coffee. So. There you go. Ooh. For those of you who have just joined us, hello. I'm Lawson. I'm the other bald bearded one, and we are painting the brand new Curseling from Arcane Cataclysm, which is kindly gifted to us by Games Workshop, which you can go and pre-order now if you so wish. Yeah, me neither, fish. There is an awful lot of bling and trim going on with Chaos. Like, they're very busy. They're busy people. Stylistically busy, I should say. What are we doing here? That was right. Metallics. We're going to do metallics. So, we'll do the gold first because there's a lot of it. A little touch of water, just to thin it out a bit. And we'll see how this goes. So. Oof, Doom Rider. That is a name I have not heard in a long time. I really hope they do, like, because Warhammer have been really good at making like commemorative models lately. So like the Inquisitor model that they did for the store birthday, the Warhammer Plus models. You know, they just do like a commemorative series now, and the Noise Marine was great, and I would love to see something like that for Doom Rider. Like, okay, we might not see him like officially on the tabletop ever again, or if we ever did, I can't remember. Yeah, when it comes to forging all this trim, especially in Age of Sigmar, because if you look at Sigvald, Sigvald the Magnificent, he's just wearing very well designed gold armor. There's not an awful lot of like busyness going on. A Curseling, absolutely caked in trim. But I think stylistically they're moving away from it slightly. Because if anyone saw little the little teaser of the new World Eaters Khorne Berserker, it's just really good. Because it's not over designed. But it instantly screams World Eater. Oh, you at uni, Mike, you caked in trim, was it? No one will be seated for the thrilling trim party. Thankfully, this gold has some pretty decent coverage, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Headcanon for Doom Rider is that he lost interest in the Long War due to substances. Now he just rides up behind white scars and speed boys yelling, "Let us race." I can see that. In hindsight, what I should have done is finish the armour before doing this trim, But once again, I've made my mistakes and I will live by them. Let's see how badly this will bite me in the ass once I'm finished. I need to finish the blue parts of the armour. I mean, I've already sort of buggered myself quite a bit here by just spilling all of my paint into one amorphous mess. So, how's your day going? Just thinking of the commemorative models, did anybody pick up their Warhammer Plus ones? I did. I've got mine sat on my shelf, and I'm just don't know how I'm gonna paint them, but maybe that'll be a stream. We'll sit down and we'll work out how to. Tell you what's nice with this box set is to just be able to sit down and start painting it, because I've spent the past week just building it, which is great. I mean, like, it's one hell of a box. There's 55 models all in all. Again, your audio is fine. It's just cleaning my brush. Oh, have a little coffee sip. A little sip. Mm. Yes, the assassin is lovely. I was a little bit. I mean, it's not the end of the world because because you can the sort of statue facade that he's standing in you can take off. But I was a little bit like, when I opened the box and had a look at the sculpt. Actually, I've got it here on the side. So when I got it on the sprue, this is a solid piece on the platform, and I was like, this is going to be a nightmare to paint, because I was hoping to just have it in 2 separate pieces. Thankfully, you can just have it how you need it, like that, so that facade can come away, so you can paint it quite easily, which is very handy. I just love that it comes on a 32mm base as well. Like, it's so top. It's like there's so much going on up top and very little at the bottom. I love it. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to come back and do some touch-ups with this sort of plate here, because I've overspilt massively. But, like I say, it's okay, it's alright, we have a good time. Just what does make life a little bit easier when painting Chaos Trim is, especially with newer Chaos models, is that thankfully, because the sculpting has become so crisp, that you can kind of just use the edge of your brush and just catch the trim without catching the armor panel. I mean, famous last words, I overspill all the time, but that's okay. Hobby should, hobby painting should be a fun and enjoyable process. You shouldn't get yourself too stressed about anything. You're just using a hairy stick to smush coloured goo on a tiny little monster man. And that should be a fun and enjoyable experience. Always respect the steadiness of hands with people. Do this. It's something that can be learnt over time. So if you don't think that you've got steady hands, it comes with practice. And there's a lot of things that you can do to help. Certain like positions and stands and things. I always find if my hand's shaking a bit too much, I just go like that. Just loosen it up a bit. And then I find it doesn't, it doesn't move as much. Anyway, I don't have the steadiest hands in the world. But when Mikey started, his hands shook a fair amount. and now they barely shake at all. It just comes with practice. And like I said, there's different positions and exercises and stuff that you can do. Okay, so for those who may have just joined us, or is a bit confused what's going on, I am currently painting the Curseling for Disciples of Tzeentch, and we are doing the inordinate amount of gold trim on the model. Oh yeah, there was no actual gold banding there, I've just painted a whole piece of gold for no reason. Again, that's fine. That's why we've got the blue. I thought I'd massively overpainted that little bit there. Nope, we're good. We're golden, literally. Oh, is the goal over yet? No. No. So we're just having a look around. I'm just having a look around and see all the places I've already done, just making sure that I have got everything there. Yeah, almost just some little bits here and the leg to finish. As I said, we're not too, you know, if it's little bits that we can't see easily, that's fine. Basically making sure that there's a good amount of coverage. Good gold coverage. Which it looks like there is. So that's nice. Yeah, that's all done there. Done around there. A little bit there. And just a little bit there. Okay, that's all looking. Yep, stay gold, pony boy. And then we're gonna move on to the upper quadrants. So we'll do his chest, well, his collar here. Nice easy one. And here this part of his chest plate. I suppose actually, is that part of his shoulder plate? I don't know. I don't know armor. I don't know muscles. I don't know much. Guys, I'm sorry. Actually no, I know painting. I've pretty much pushed out every other piece of information from my brain. It's just painting. See, now fish, that doesn't seem silly. That seems like an opportunity for hijinks. Oh, the autofocus does work. Just remind me to press that button on the top. See, because I'm a bit of a like I said at the start here, because I'm a bit of a technological Luddite. What I'm using as an overhead camera is in fact a document reader. But I think it works alright. It sounds like an excuse to get something to bite your players in the bottom. See, with having an outhouse mimic, what you really need to do is start instilling the long con. So usually going to the bathroom is not something that appears very often in D&D. So you start house ruling that, you know, your character's got to have a bathroom break every so often, at least once a day, otherwise, you know, whatever, you'll get a debuff of some kind. You get them to roll the dice, a d20 as well. And every time, it's fine. And you do that, you instill in them so much, and it's always fine. And then months will pass, and then down the line, boom, outhouse mimic. Someone gets chomped on the tuchus. Oof, sorry. Overthin this a little. That's okay. Enough of the palette. So I think with that we're all, I think we've finished the trim. I hope so anyway. Doing a little once over. And then, no, this is on the inside of his arm as well. There's trim there too. A Blood Bowl team that looks like a double-decker bar is pretty good. I like that. And his helmet. Of course. It never ends, people. The trim never ends. That's probably why they all end up like gibbering maniacs. Sorry, I do apologise. I am trying to keep this under the camera as much as possible. But I realise I swing models around quite a bit. Okay, this we're being very careful. He starts overspilling almost immediately. Trying to be careful with the helmet. Itchy. Yeah, so they're sort of just done as like scale mail on the box art. So I may keep with that, but I'll give them like a little wash or something like that. I'll mix something in with the metallics just to do something a little bit different with it. Okay. Okay, now I think that's the trim finished. Yeah. So I do have a dark purple. Oh. Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. So, dark purple there. And then mix that with a silver. I do have a vortex mixer, but it's through the other room. Yeah, and we'll do the scale metallics. So, famous last words. I'm mixing a bit of the dark purple with the silver. We'll get a sort of silver metallic, and then we'll work our way up. Very similar to how we did the flesh. It should be. So we'll take a bit of the metallic. Take a bit of that. Okay, champion. Right, that has worked. Happy. Actually darken it down a little bit. Okay, no, that's not enough. Silver. As they say, art is more art than science. So. Just absolutely love the Pro Chrome Metallics because they just have nice coverage. That's good. And we're sort of having like a more sort of a purplish metallic. Kind of ties in with what we did with the frills. And the feathers and the fleshy part of the curseling. Oh, just knocking the camera out. Apologies. tell you what, we'll do part of the staff in that as well. So we'll do the. I don't want to do the head of the staff here. Which part of the staff should we do? So I don't want it to be the overall focus of it, so we'll do it on the grip here. And we'll do it on the pommel of his sword. Is it a pommel? The butt. We'll do it on the sword ass. Of course, the most important part. Try and dig your brain out using the back end of you. So there we go. That there. Now what we can do. Brush our brush. A little brushy brushy. Ooh, it's windy today. And we'll change to a smaller brush. Go for a little size 1. And now, basically, we're just going to have a touch of the previous mix, but it's mainly just going to be solid silver here, just with a hint of the purple. And go around and just touch each of the scales. A little bit of silver just to highlight it up, because mixing the purple in means we've lost a bit of the metallic sheen to it. But that's okay, because we can always go back, and that's why we're doing the silver here. No worries, David. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. There we go. Nice and easy. And we'll do the same around here on the scales. Around here, and we're not going to bother with the knee or the arm joints scales, because they're quite sort of in there, so there's not much point. But we will do a bit of highlighting, just quickly on the sword butt. Same here, just a quick. Again, just going for the top parts and the top edges. So there we go. See what? Because there's a little eye detail there. I don't know whether the. I'm going to pick it out in silver for now, and if I don't like it, I'll paint over it later. Really depends how I feel in a bit. Okay. Now, I think it's something to do with the sword as well. The sword and the weapons. Let's have a little think. What have we got? Ooh. So, I need to think of what to do for the weapons. In the meantime, we'll while I'm having a think there, we'll do the bone. Now, what's a good bone colour? Bright neutral grey. Dark neutral grey. You know, since we've got white and black on the palette already, let's play around with that and see what we can do for the bone. So we'll take some black. Here, take a little bit of white, a little bit more black. There we go. Base coat this. Grey. For now. So we're just farting around with greys here, just for bone. We'll lower it down a bit actually, because hopefully what we can do is get a nice sort of bone Oh, there's a bit of purple in there. Not exactly what we want, but you know what? Let's play with it. Let's play around. Let's see where this takes us. I think that's too mixed in with everything else. I'm gonna have to get another bit of white going. I'm not too sure, I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is quite going how I was hoping, but that's alright. I'll say blending is not my strongest suit. You know what, we'll let that dry for now, and I'll come back to it and I'll see how I feel. But what we'll do in the meantime is, while I'm pondering all this, we'll do the we'll do more armor. So this is just going to be a simple case of basically going back around everything we've just done, but leaving the deepest recesses showing. Let's have a look here. Loosen that paint up a little. You don't want to fight your paint, because it's paint. You can beat it pretty easily, but it will try and outsmart you. Do not let it. You can also see where I said earlier I should have done this step before doing the gold. Hello, Jam Slam, you right? now I have to try and contend to not go over the gold that I just did, that I spent an absurdly long amount of time on. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, this has mainly been a trim stream, which sounds positively filthy now that I say it out loud. It's okay. Yeah, a little bit of a pain, but you know what? You live and learn. If I ever paint another Curseling, which I might do, because I didn't realise, I thought these were unique characters. No, they're not. You can just take as many as you like, which I think is great, because they're cool. So if I end up painting another one, I will remember. I will look back at this video and go, yep, that's how not to do it. I will save myself heartache. I'm just being dramatic at this point, really. Thankfully, doing the blue armor is a lot quicker than the gold. So keep going. So a little bit of music for you. I hope everybody's having a lovely Saturday. I know I am. I've been quite excited to paint this, like, most of this week. Oh, well, thank you very much. Steadiness and surety. Steadiness comes with practice. The surety is just that's a lie. I'm not sure when it comes to these things. You just sort of wing it. You do your best. You style it out. For me, it's just a lot of sort of checkbox art, and then just pick colours that you like. Some bits of arm, yeah. I keep forgetting the inside of his arm there. So that's sort of bringing up the blue a little more. So I have a little bit of white. So it's going to be sort of more of a, because I'm just using white and black. It's going to desaturate the colours, so they're just not going to be quite as vibrant as they would be if I was just using brighter, more saturated tones. So with that, the whole model's going to be a little bit more pastel, which is fine, because I actually quite like, because we're using a very super matte paint, I think it just has a nice overall effect without it being too chalky. That's the main thing. What? It's your least favourite colour to work with? It's not yellow, actually. I don't know why, I should always find red a pain. Black's an interesting one, because all you need to do is work out what kind of black you're after, and then after that you just highlight it however you want. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is a very good point, Jam Slam. Yeah, it's a pain to try and get like a smooth transition. That's why I tend to just go with chunky highlights for black, and it 9 times out of 10 it gets my point across. It was lovely to have you, Paul. You take care of yourself now. Have a lovely day. So, hopefully. So the transition isn't going to be as subtle with this one. We kind of do want the armour to be as bold and poppy as possible, so that's alright. I think if I had the patience, I'd try and do a bit more of like a blended transition. So adding a couple of more stages between each brighter colour. Oh. But all in all, we're just having a good time. And again, if I feel like the light's not really going to hit it, I'm not going to sweat about getting every single panel, just as long as I've got most of them. Yeah. So there we go, there's his armour, and then I think what we'll do finally is we'll mix a bit more white in. A lot more white in. There we go. For a truth. Now here, I'm actually going to switch to a smaller brush. I'm just going to do some very small extreme edge highlights.
by that, I just mean just... Oh, no, that's too chunky. Here, so on the knees here, there's quite a sharp edge. Same on the hip pads here. Just the top bit here for that stud and that stud. There we go. And on the gauntlet here, and then just across his knuckles. Again, just across here. And there we go. So, yeah, we'll see the armors. Yeah, the armor's pretty much. Yeah, the armor. Blue armor's finished. Nice and easy. What else are we gonna do? Still no close from working out the horn, although having said that, I might just leave it as is and do just do a highlight on the edges again. So same thing that I did, yeah. Sorry for being a bit quieter here, but I am using every ounce of focus. There we go. Actually, now that I've given it a... I'm much happier with it now that I've given it sort of a bit, just a quick edge highlight. That's better. Right. other stuff that we can be looking at to do. So we're going to darken down. Add some definition to the feathers. Just by giving it a wash of the dark purple. And then doing that a little bit up onto the skin of his back. And then that way it all sort of ties together a little. So doing the wash, all I did was just thin down some of that dark purple within an absolute inch of its life. So when I paint it on, it's just going to tint the tops, but mainly just flow into the recesses. There we go, so that's sort of darkened it down, and then I'll probably just dry brush it with a magenta. Nice and easy. Right. Well, I think I'll go on for a little bit longer. I don't think I'll get them finished, but who knows? So this is sort of where we're at now. As you can see, coming along nicely, I think. I think I'll do the staff head in bronze, because it just differentiates it a little bit from the gold, but not too much. Still keeping that sort of, that feel. Do a dabber. We'll paint the back end of the staff like that as well.
Nice.
Oh, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the LOL crew who've been going through a year of depression and hardship, and you guys always found a way to make me smile. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that you've been going through that, buddy. But thank you very much for the donation, and I'm very glad that we can make you smile. Whether it's Jules going through the Mojave Wasteland, Beanie's insatiable love of playing game after game of 40k, or me and Mikey gurgling at each other like idiots. Still no idea how I'm going to do. Gurgle for knuckle. Yeah, still no idea how I'm going to do his blade. Yeah, sort of like a reddish fiery blade, and I kind of, well, like, it's something like redstone or something. Well, it's called blazing sword, so yeah, no, it's a fire. It's a fire sword. Damn it, I hate red. I hate red so much. I just can't seem to paint it properly. However, it is the one place that I don't have that obnoxious lime green on, so that's what we're going to do with it. Yep, it's going to be a lime green blade. It's green flame. Just yeah. That's how we're rolling. But I'll block in. Right. Let's see what we got going on here. We'll put just some actual green down on the palette. Similar process as before, a little bit more black down because that's bleeding into everything else now. So, similar as before, we're going to take some of the green here, put that, just a smidge of black. Have we learned? Yes, we have. And then we're going to just paint that over. Might be a couple of coats. That's okay. Might do as well actually. To tie it all together, I'll just paint these eyes. So I'll paint the eye in his. And the one on his tilt shield, I think it is. I don't know. Paint this little gem as well, his belt. So again, we're going to add, I think we're going to go quite up because that green's quite a nice base green, so I'll just go straight up to that. So again, I'm just sort of mushing paint around here at this point, just trying to see what will and will not work. And this has not been one of my greatest ideas. I think I kind of know where I want to go with it, but it's just not playing ball right now. So, you know, rather than go completely insane and try and make everything work, I'm just gonna move on to the next thing and keep trying. Because like I said, he's got some little gubbins and stuff here, so. Yeah, because the lime green has mushed right into the orange, so everything I'm doing is just not working. I've put more lime green on the palette, that's fine. So. I'm just gonna. So I think it's doing all right. We're going around here. Swords and skin are my two bits where I can't quite get them right. Just not exactly how I want them to. You always have it in your head, don't you? But it's okay, because, you know, you just play around with these things. And every sword I paint gets me closer to the sword I'm happier with. With every bit of skin I paint gets me closer to the skin I'm happier with. Yeah. Yeah, not perfect, but nice. I like it. We'll get there. We'll get there in the end. So I think before we start anything major, I will call it there because I've been going for nearly 3 hours. And I'm quite hungry. And my bum's gone to sleep and sat down too long. But yeah, so here's what we've sort of got at the moment. It's going quite nicely. I want to do more with the feathers. I want to do obviously more with the the staff. Maybe try and see if I can get a bit more of a smoother transition with the sword here. However, armor, gold needs a bit of definition, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, Mikey, before you go, yes? Is that gold I see on your wet palette? It is indeed. I am committing a cardinal sin. I've seen the argument for never put metallics on your wet palette. I've done it a bunch of times and I haven't seen any problems with it. But the plural of anecdote is not data, so don't take my word for it. I just know that I've done it and nothing's exploded and nothing's gone like bad. I've not had like paint flecks. See, you say that, but that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen anything. It's just not happened. But it's something to dwell upon. We'll talk about it further next time. But for now, thank you everybody who tuned in. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday, or whatever day you're currently in your time zone. Time is weird and very confusing. You want flakes in your bowl with milk? I want cornflakes. That's what I want. Cornflakes. World Eaters coming soon. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, having a good time, joining in. Like I said, this is from the new Arcane Cataclysm, which is on pre-order now. If you like any of the paints or brushes or anything that I use, you can find them through our affiliate links down below in the video description. You can pick them up. Usually do pretty good discount. But take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will catch you next time. Ta-ra!